Storms have a way of reminding us how small we are in the face of nature's power. In central Oregon, where wide-open landscapes stretch beneath vast skies, a thunderstorm can transform a quiet day into a chaotic spectacle in mere moments. What unfolded recently in this region was nothing short of extraordinary: a tempest of howling winds, bone-rattling thunder, and hailstones so large they seemed to defy reality. As the afternoon sun beat down on central Oregon, the air felt heavy, charged with an electric tension. The heat was oppressive, the kind that makes you long for shade and a cold drink. But the skies had other plans. Over the rolling hills and sagebrush plains, a storm cell began to coalesce, its dark clouds swirling with menace. Meteorologists, monitoring their radar screens, noted the system's rapid intensification. It was no ordinary storm. It was a beast, capable of unleashing winds that could tear through anything in their path and hail that could dent steel. You can imagine the quiet before the chaos, the way the air thickens and the birds fall silent. Central Oregon's wide-open spaces make it a perfect stage for nature's dramas, where storms can sweep in with little warning, transforming the landscape in an instant. In areas near Bend, the storm hit with full force. Winds roared at speeds approaching 60 miles per hour, shaking trees and rattling windows. Hailstones, some as large as golf balls, pelted the ground with a ferocity that sounded like a drumroll from the heavens. Rooftops bore the brunt of the assault, with shingles cracking under the barrage. In neighborhoods, power lines swayed dangerously, and electricity flickered out, plunging homes into darkness. Internet services, so vital in our connected world, went offline, leaving thousands cut off from communication. Imagine standing at your window, watching hailstones crash down like tiny meteors. The sound alone, sharp, relentless, almost apocalyptic, would be enough to make your heart race. For residents, this wasn't just a storm. It was a reminder of how quickly modern conveniences like power and internet can vanish when nature decides to flex its muscles. The storm didn't linger in one place. It charged northward, a juggernaut of nature. Near the small town of John Day, another storm cell began to form, mirroring the intensity of the first. Its rotating clouds, visible on radar, hinted at the potential for even greater destruction. Southwest of Deschutes County, additional storm cells emerged, their speed and power growing with each passing minute. Emergency alerts buzzed on phones, urging residents to seek shelter as the storm barreled toward Lapine. In Lapine, the scene was surreal. Roads, usually bustling with traffic, emptied as drivers pulled over or sought cover. Hail piled up on streets, creating a slushy, icy mess that made driving treacherous. Fallen tree limbs and debris littered the ground, and emergency crews scrambled to respond to reports of damaged roofs and shattered windows. The storm's movement was like a living thing, unpredictable and relentless. For those in its path, there was little time to prepare, just a mad dash to safety as the sky unleashed its fury. The emptiness of the roads, contrasted with the chaos above, paints a vivid picture of a community holding its breath. In Ben's historic Old Mill district, the hail came down in waves, bouncing off sidewalks and collecting in drifts. People huddled under awnings, their phones out to capture the surreal sight of ice blanketing a summer day. The noise was deafening, a cacophony of thuds and cracks as hailstones struck cars, buildings, and anything else in their path. At Twin Lakes Resort, vacationers sought shelter under trees, only to find themselves ankle-deep in hail that piled up faster than they could have imagined. As quickly as it arrived, the storm moved on, leaving behind an eerie stillness. A phenomenon locals dubbed hail fog settled over the region, a misty, steamy haze caused by the cold hail meeting the warm ground. Parking lots and car washes were shrouded in this ghostly fog, adding to the surreal aftermath. Residents emerged from their homes, stunned, to survey the damage. Cracked windshields, dented cars, and stripped siding were common sights. In rural areas, fields bore the scars of the storm, their crops battered by the onslaught. At the Deschutes County Fairgrounds, where events were in full swing, the storm forced a brief lockdown as winds tore through the area. Power poles leaned precariously, and internet outages forced emergency shelters to activate backup plans. Crews worked tirelessly to clear debris and warn residents of sharp hazards hidden in the wreckage.